2 L's, 2 E's. Still got them Florida knees.
Hey. Jamaican knees.
Jamaican knees and already.
A gully creeper ain't serious. Oh, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Jamaican knees better than the Florida knees.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
I don't know about that. I got a
Tried
good
and
blend. I got a good blend of both sides.
The Broward County needs or the Dade County needs?
Broward County.
We
all the
only
way,
represent
all the
Broward.
way.
Broward. They don't know about that.
Yeah, for sure. So welcome to the podcast, the Formula Podcast. I'm here with, Gary.
Hey, Gary, I'm in the building. How you doing?
Gary with the 2 R's.
2 R's.
This is Gabrielle with the 2 L's and the 2 E's.
That's good.
Yep, and you one and only RJD up in the building. So, here on the podcast, the Formula Podcast, we like to interview business people that's actually out here doing it. Just getting real practical advice. We don't have to go so deep into no theories and the most impactful book you read. Yeah. I want to understand what you've been reading and how you've been able to apply it in your business or like what you've been doing exactly in your company. But I've gone all over the place, but let's start with why did you go into business to start with?
Wow. Well, I'm a hairstylist and a multimedia artist. So that allows me to talk to so many different people, almost like all day, every day, right? Since I'm a creative, I enjoy, I want to say, I usually tell people when they come into my salon, it's like, let me adjust your crown, right? Because when your hair looks good, you feel good. Guys, when you go to the barber, or if you cut your hair yourself, you're looking in the mirror when you're done and you're feeling different, right? Yes. So I like being responsible for that, for people. And there's so many people that can't do their hair themselves. I took for granted that I could do mine myself. And realized that being able to do that for others, brought me some kind of joy. So, that's my passion when it comes to doing hair, and I tend to like colors and like to, make things just look different than the original. So that's how I kind of got into the multimedia art. Wow. So.
Got a artist here, so you work your art with the hair, you work your art with multimedia art.
Absolutely.
What is it? Multimedia is so many different things. Like what kind of things you get into?
So I do murals, right? But I like painting on canvases because they're portable and you could turn it whichever way you want. People could take it and put it in whatever environment they want. To create a different energy in the room. So that's my love for painting on canvases comes from that. But I've done murals in an elementary school, in a boutique, radio station. So I enjoy walking in a room and knowing that I was the reason the room looks so different and vibrant, So
you impacted a space.
Yes.
I will say too, a lot of times, we talk to a lot of business owners, so I myself, I'm a corporate attorney. RJ's in the media, marketing, advertising space, and we're providing goods and different services and more traditional businesses. But you're a creative, right? And that's one of the toughest things to do is to make a business out of your creativity.
Yes.
What has been your experience with that, and what drove you to go that route? Because I know a lot of times people dissuade people from starting businesses that are quote unquote traditional, let alone non-traditional, so what drew you into that space, or what pulled you, or did the creativity pull you from another space rather?
Wow. Well, I've always been creative, right? I remember growing up, my mom was always like, stop writing your name everywhere. I'd write my name in bubble letters or like draw it or color it just everywhere, right? And, as I got older and I started working, 9 to 5s, I was often, even though I was doing the job that I was hired to do, I was always still scribbling or, just bored in this monotone, just this routine thing, And when I decided to step out and be an entrepreneur, I realized the value in being able to create your own environment, and working with different clients on a daily basis. It didn't have such a monotone feel to it. I didn't feel as robotic, as a clock in and do this and then clock out and rinse and repeat, So I like I like being able to have different conversations and you know, just talk to different people and see what's making them tick. So
Dope. I'm gonna jump in there. You say you use your art in the hairstyling, and you also do it with more murals and things like that. Um, Out of those two things, what was one of the two things that would you say is your main like breadwinner, and how do you decide to like balance the things that's like your breadwinner and like the thing that you enjoy doing as far as like passion?
so my passion is really the art, like the canvas and the murals, you know. It's a space that I'm just getting into and getting to understand, right? I love art, but I didn't do it like in school or anything. So my main breadwinner right now is, you know, my service that I provide with hair. I also have oils. I make my own oils, you know, so that's the retail part of, you know, the service that I provide. But both of them, the retail part of my hair salon and the service in my hair salon, that's my breadwinner right now. But I can actually also, you know, make more money with my art as long as I continue to develop my skills. So, you know, I really hope to make a transition because, you know, it's a lot of labor-intensive work with that standing on your feet every day doing hair, you know, and with the art, I can take it wherever I want. I don't have to stand behind a chair and be in a salon, you know, so it's more flexible, and I'm more passionate about the painting than I am about hair, but I love the hair because of the social aspect of it. So, you know.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes for me in the future, but I don't mind juggling both of them right now. So
Nice. That's what's up. So like, because I understand that as well. Both of my arts are like in video production or like I used to be a rapper back in the day.
Hey,
what?
Yeah, I used to be a
drop them
rapper.
bars.
Didn't even know. I know.
Bars. Used to have bars for real. I got an EP and everything like that. Used to perform it, stuff like that. I never like my homeboy had a stage called Speakeasy, and that's where I used to perform my art. Anybody that been out to Speakeasy and heard any one of my hits, it's major. It's heavy. It's heavy.
I went triple
So-
platinum in the streets.
You know, they like one of my homeboys, Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. He called me the Broward County DMX.
There it is.
What? You got
Google
skills
it.
like that, RJ?
Google it.
Gotta show it off.
But nah, with video production, that's like my breadwinner. You know what I mean? That's like how I'm able to contribute most to the world, and that's
Right.
why people pay me for. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where I put majority of my energy at. Not saying that I still enjoy writing, and I use writing and like creativity in my productions as well. You know, so that's why I kind of like asked that question. But then just to go into the next question about like you got this hair, you know how to do hair, right? And many people know how to do hair. How did you go from like knowing how to do hair to like starting a company? What did that look like for you?
Well, so my journey was, I can say that I'm the reason that I started here, doing hair myself, because when I went through everything. I had the perm, I had the jerry curl, I had every type of hairstyle, right?
Yeah.
Not jerry curl, it was called leisure curl. It was a little different than the jerry. Right? It wasn't dripping and all that stuff they say about jerry curl. But I went through everything, and my hair just wouldn't flourish the way that I wanted it to, right? So I remember specifically one day I looked under, you open your bathroom, the cupboard under your sink, and I felt like a mini Walgreens. I'm like, I got all these products, and it's still not working.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big Alicia Keys fan, right? Shout out to Alicia. So she just came out and she was rocking these braids, right? And they were so fly. So I started braiding up my hair, growing up my hair, and eventually I cut my hair off. So I started, I was natural for a while, and then one day I realized, like, let me just lock up. That's the thing the style, I guess, that I was going for, and that's, even though I'm Jamaican, I didn't look into the lifestyle of locks, right? Mm-hmm. And, as my hair got longer and, every time I went back home, I have all these Rasta men approaching me, want to tell me about Ethiopia and all of these things. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I did more research, came to find out more about the whole lifestyle and everything. I made a few changes, but I just know that as far as the hair aspect of it, my hair just wouldn't stop growing. Once it locked up, it wouldn't stop growing. Around 2 months ago, my hair was long, like behind my knees.
Wow.
About 2 months ago, I cut it shorter, because that length hair, it was a little overwhelming at times, and because I'm a hairstylist, I know sometimes the length doesn't necessarily mean that your hair is healthier, right? So I cut it a little shorter, right? As you can see, it's like right here. And now I'm realizing a lot more as far as like healthy hair, and I'm still learning. Even though I've been doing hair for 17 years, it's still I feel like I'm always a student, So I don't know why I think I forgot the question you're asking me, but I'm gonna keep going.
How did it transition from loving to do hair, knowing about hair, to actually starting a business and doing it?
Right, so I was on the right track. Okay, so so I kept doing my hair, and everyone would look at my hair and be like, "Gosh, I want my hair to look like yours." So I literally, how they say you go to the kitchen to get your hair done. I literally started in my house, like in my living room. People used to come to me. And my friends, and I'd start their locks, but I didn't monetize it until I realized, adjusting people's crown, like this is a thing, So I started working in a hair salon. I've only ever worked in 2 different hair salons before branching out into my own salon. I'm in a salon suite, right? And that's where I'm able to embellish everyone's crown. And, it just works because I'm like my own walking advertisement, so people see my hair and they're like, God, I love your hair. Who does your hair? Actually, I do it myself, so that's usually how, that's how I started off getting clients. And now it's just word of mouth. So, I started out, in the industry from my own experience, so to speak, to answer your question.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And how was that transition for you? Because were you transitioning from a 9-to-5 into being a hairstylist?
Yeah, I always had a 9-to-5 up to recently. I'm not one of those people who use my 9-to-5 to start my own business. I was just always juggling them both, right? You have your 9-to-5, and then after hours and on weekends, I go to the salon, and I remember I was working for the state of Florida. Shout out the state of Florida. Working for the good old state of Florida. And I was a supervisor, right, in my department. And I remember the director of the entire department had requested that we all extend our hours to work on this certain project, right? And the project was to win an award from Broward County, an award for Broward County, to say like we're the best. And my team and I, we worked long hours, they brought work home, we came in early, we did all these things. And we won the award, which was great, we were all happy. And for winning the award, we were all supposed to, the company was supposed to go to Orlando for this formal dinner. And the people who got to go to Orlando was none of us, not even me as the leader, So I realized, when the director, she awarded us with a pizza party for lunch.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was so demeaning, and she's like, oh, I've always dreamed of this. Thank you for making my dreams come true. And it's something about that little speech right there at our pizza party lunch that made me realize that I felt a little small for my team. And it made me realize that I've never, ever gone to bed and dreamt about what we just made come true. I'm like, I have my own dreams, right? So that's when I decided in that moment that I was going to make my transition out of there and start putting my energy, the same energy I put into the team, into making sure they could accomplish this to make her dreams come true. Yeah. I decided to put my energy into making my own dreams come true. And that's when I left the company and started putting more energy into my business that was already existing, just not thriving because my energy was misplaced.
Wow. That's wild. Just so I get clarity on this real quick. So your team helped the director help the director win this competition. And it was particularly your team that helped them win that competition.
Right.
And then the people that went on the trip was her and like another team?
No, her and like maybe her 3 or 4 people in her department, because they were higher up than us. Yeah. Right? So the big fish, got to go and accept this award and have this formal dinner. And, you know, it was like a gala. Like, yo, they dressed up nice. You know, came back and showed us pictures and everything. I'm like... I mean, I had a talk with my team. I'm very transparent when it comes to certain things, you know, and I spoke to them about that. I remember having that conversation with them and saying, guys, we did all this hard work, you know, enjoy your pizza, but this is not it, you know, and I let them know, I hope this is not it for you guys. And I want you guys to look and see that, you know, all your hard work that you put in is not necessarily, you're not always awarded accordingly, you know.
How was that pizza?
You know what? I was petty. I didn't even eat it. I was like, I'm ordering my own lunch.
Oh man.
Don't tell me they got the Papa John's, not the good old Papa.
They didn't even order like a 3-course meal, like pizza.
Yo, something you give your kids when
on a Friday after school.
I mean, it was so insulting, you know. But these things happen. I know that these things happen sometimes to show you just where you are, where you can be. It just depends on your perspective, you know, because a lot of people in my team, they didn't look at it the way I looked at it. And I showed them, I asked them when I had a team meeting, I'm like, yo, by show of hands, how many of you have ever dreamt of this moment? The silence was deafening, you know, so.
That's huge, Hills. And I tell people all the time, like, not everybody gets blessed with a vision, you know, and we need people who have the vision, some people who don't, you know. Because those people who don't, they're willing to work, put the energy in, and do certain things. But when you have that vision, it's hard to be around the people who don't have that vision.
It is. Yeah. They suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be careful who you surround yourself with. Very 1,000%. Good point.
And nothing you're talking about, recognition and validation. Like, you have people working for you, don't recognize them. And recognizing somebody properly, right?
Yes.
You talking about how many hours you put into this thing. You said you took work home.
Yes.
You came in early and you stayed late.
Yes.
You know, and then they don't recognize you for that. Like, hey, we appreciate you because we see what appreciation looks like. The state of Florida gave them all this stuff, whereas they didn't do that for you. But when you work in your own business, though, you know, that recognition and validation that you can give to yourself, you know, in your community and the impact that you want to have when you are pursuing that vision is it doesn't compare, huh?
It does not compare. It does not compare. I mean, the recognition from in my salon from just how pleased one person can be with their hairstyle, it means that much more to me than a commendation from a director in a big company. You know that. I mean, I'm so big on making your work like make a difference. You know, I'm big on making a difference. So sometimes like in that situation, I just felt like a small fry, even though I knew that because we worked a lot in the community. So our work made a difference to people outside of the job, right? And I love that. But, you know, and I didn't necessarily need them to validate me, but at the same time, you know, it would have been nice.
Yeah.
Even like Chinese food instead of pizza.
Yeah. I mean, everybody needs that validation. You know what I'm saying? This is a human thing because you put on your effort and time into something.
Right.
You want somebody to say, hey, you know, you're doing a good job.
I see you.
This actually went towards, I see you.
Right.
This actually went towards something.
Right.
But if nobody doing it, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, but sometimes you do need that added pressure as well as having a vision, right? You said you had that vision for years and you've been working at the job. I have a similar story. I had a vision for years and years, and I was working a job trying to figure out when to leave my job and things like that. And I said, hold on, I'm gonna just work this job for 2 years. Then 2 years come and it's like, hold on there.
Right. And that's
and then I worked for another 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's like it reached a point where it was something. It wasn't that exact type of thing, but it was a call when the supervisor called me in and said, hey, we're gonna put you on suspension, like on like not suspension, but like probation type of thing. Like if you do one more thing, you're out the door. And I was like, hold on now. You know, I'm coming from a different world. Just those type of words and those type of like, oh, one more strike type of thing. Like it don't sit right well with me from my experiences. That's like a triggering thing. It's like, okay. And I asked him, I was like, so can I put my 2 weeks notice in? Is that cool? He's like, oh my God, so you really serious? I'm like, yeah.
What you
like,
thought this
I
was?
tried to slide on my own time, not on yours.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just took that moment, and he was shocked. It just took that moment of being like, okay, I saved enough. You know, let me see if I can put this 2 weeks notice in, because I never done a 2 weeks notice before, and I'm like, okay, let me see if it actually works.
Yeah.
And it did, and he's like, yeah, okay, you be for the next 2 weeks, and you're on your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like after leaving that job, because of course you put that 2 weeks notice, and you're like, oh shoot. You know, you call your girl, or you call your man, or you call your kids, and you be like, yeah, man, I just put my 2 weeks notice in, boy, be lit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Now
Yo,
what? Yeah.
I mean, put the 2
They're
weeks notice.
wait, so what now?
So like when it's like, okay, you did that, and then now you actually stepped out on your own, what was the idea to the reality of the actual building your thing? I know we have this fantasy. I know everybody want to start their own business, but like on some on a real level, like what was some of the things you had to start implementing, some of the disciplines you had to do, some of the reality that hit you? What was that part look like for you?
So, you know, it's weird how my transition story happened, because I actually did not put a 2 weeks notice in, right? After that event happened, I went on vacation. Mm-hmm. And during the vacation, that's when I realized, listen, I need to transition myself. I need to plan, you know. So I was in the process of putting everything together to, you know, branch out and do all those things that I needed to do before you put the 2 weeks notice in. And I got a call to say that myself and my supervisor, we're no longer a part of the company, right? Yeah, I got a call from one of my people on my team. Because the way that it works, they don't have to tell you why you no longer work there or anything. I was not offended in one bit at all. Because remember now, I told you I was doing the work to transition out of there anyway. And that's just the way that the universe works for me, right?
Did they give you like a notice? Like, okay, you got a week or 2 weeks?
No, I was on vacation.
So
right?
you was immediately terminated?
Yeah, and they don't have to tell you why. Because of the type of position that I had as leadership, they don't have to tell you why. Right?
Nice.
And it was weird because I was fine with it, right? I wasn't making that much money in my salon to supplement the income I was receiving from them, but I wasn't worried, you know? So the transition for me, that's how it happened, right? I was kind of forced into it, but I didn't mind the fact that I was forced into it. And I just took off running. And it's so funny because I had no idea the volume. I had no idea how my business would thrive so well. You know, it's like when you put your energy, how does it go? Where your energy goes, whatever, it grows.
Okay. Yeah.
However,
we'll take it like that. Yeah. But that's real. Yeah.
Your gift will make room for you. That's what my pastor was.
Yes.
Your gift will make room for you.
Yes. So that happened, you know. I put my energy into that, and it just took off in ways that I never imagined. So I was fine. It wasn't a bad transition for me at all.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that you were fine, but that's a little bit of how long you was there at that job?
5 years.
5 years. So think about this, right? You 5 years at a job, you're getting paid everything. Your team just helped them win a victory, and then you're gonna terminate me with no notice. I'm terminated the same day of while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Now these are certain levels of disrespect. That's how I take it as.
Yeah.
I take it as certain levels of disrespect, right? One, that I've been here 5 years. This is my life, my dedication, and then you're taking away our feed and take care of my kids and my livelihood, right? And then 3, you did this with no heads up, no
hesitation,
notice, you know. And then 4, I'm being replaced before I probably was already replaced, or I probably trained my replacement for the last 3-4 months. So these are like certain levels of disrespect that's crazy, but good thing that you got the grit in you got the hustler in you, and you was able to take that and not even look at it from a standpoint of like, damn, these people are disrespecting me. You looked at it at a standpoint of like, look at God, giving me an opportunity to shine.
But you know what? It gave me such an energy, like nobody will ever be able to do this to me again. Ever. I'm like, I'm gonna put my sweat, my blood, my tears, so that nobody can ever have this much control over my livelihood again.
Oh,
because
I
suppose
see.
I didn't have my shop.
Yeah.
Suppose I wasn't able to, put something on canvas that somebody want to give me money for.
Yeah.
Suppose I didn't have that. Because, there are people that don't have those skills. The other young lady that was let go with me, she didn't have those skills. She raised hamsters. That's her only other little hobby, and she didn't have anything else. So, I looked at that as I was actually blessed enough to have something to supplement the income. But, when you are at the hands of, big corporations or, other businesses, they can actually call the shots in your life depending on how much power you give them. And I'm not willing to give anybody else that ever again.
That's real. Master your fate, captain of your soul. You know what I'm saying? You got to take control of your own destiny out there. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people because you have a level of comfort, when you know that your check is going to come at this time on this date at this much, and you can really plan your life around that. Now you go out there on your own and you really are the, master of your own fate and you control your own destiny with everything. But then it also means you control your own destiny with everything as
But
well.
let me tell you, one of the things though, Gary, one of the things that I was so concerned about with that, when I heard that it happened, I was like, forget that. I could do my shop and all this energy, like, I can, get this number. And then one day it hit me, I'm like, oh my gosh, health insurance. And that's when I realized that that's such a play that they use to make you feel like you have to be committed to the job. But here's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. That half the time that we go to the doctors for all of these things that, happen to our bodies is as a result of stress that's from the job that you're going to every day. So one of the things that I realized, I was worried about health insurance, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not a sick person to, have to go to the doctor for anything, on a regular basis. So just taking care of myself and realizing that I was actually less stressed, if anything, because I was no longer there. I was able to create my own, environment, this, that, whatever. And I hadn't gone to the doctor in such a long time after that, that I really didn't even need the health insurance, and I think at the time it was like Obama was like Obamacare and whatever, but it just brought home to me, the fact that, man, I'm here worried about health insurance and you really don't need it as much because you're not as stressed because you're not dealing with the stress from that job.
Not killing yourself.
So
How long has it been since you been doing since you left that job? How long has it been?
I left there, what was it, 2019?
2019.
Yeah.
So 4
or 5 years.
5 years.
Let's go. Yeah, that's around the same time I started my stuff.
Yeah, it's 2019. And I mean, I wouldn't trade. If it had to happen again, I would have done it the same way. The same way.
Nah, for sure, man.
Those experiences.
Yeah.
Yes. And I also heard you sell products?
Yes. So I sell products. I was using my products. I made my products actually a hair oil, right? I made it for myself. And then I started using it in the salon. And then my clients started asking me for it, So why not bottle this up and monetize?
Yeah.
So, now I sell it online. I sell it in my salon. And a lot of word of mouth.
I hope you brought some with you because I got this flourishing beard over here.
And I have beard oil, yes.
Definitely.
I got the flourishing hair too, so I'm gonna need some of that hair oil. Get me right,
Guys, let's just start with the beard oil for both of you.
Yeah. Like even when it comes to like hair and stuff like that, because people will spend a lot of money on products, like whether it's beard oil. I had a beard oil that I used to get, Fresh Heritage. Used to cost like almost $30 a pop, but it was so good on my beard oil, I wouldn't care to spend it. And then so for me, I have dry scalp. You know what I'm saying? So I had to order a product or the soaps and shampoos or whatever. It was like $80 for 2 bars of soap for your hair shampoo type thing. Yeah. Got this conditioner thing with it. Got this got this moisturizing thing for your hair and stuff like that. So it was literally $80 for the whole pack.
Wow.
And I willingly paid for it, even though I probably won't be using it as much because I'm still in the search of finding the right product that's going to really help me with the dry scalp thing and all that good stuff. But all to say that that whole industry is super lucrative because if you really provide like a really high quality product that helps solve a particular problem for whether it's the beard or like dry scalp or something like that, people are more than willing to pay the cost of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, my product, of course, it works. And you'll be able to have your own testimonial soon. It's all things natural. I wear my brand on my shirt all the time. Everywhere I go, I'm always trying to, network and plug the brand. But it's definitely an industry, like retail, having a product and having a service, it's two different types of networking, but I definitely enjoy selling my product because I like the results that it yields, So pretty soon you'll see RJ showing you his full beard, and Gary's going to follow right after.
Hey, let's go.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the next couple episodes, when you see this beard just shining,
flourishing,
when the light of the hen is just glistening back at y'all like I got VVS's in my beard, y'all know something.
Yeah, you just go to allthingsnatural.life and copy your own bottle too.
It is. And it's something you said too, because like you provide the services, right? As far as hairdressing services, now you're adding a product into that,
right?
And we call that vertical integration, right? So like you see like a Chick-fil-A, they're selling their food and everything, but you go to Publix, you got Chick-fil-A sauces, they selling there too.
Yes.
They're trying to hit every single avenue within their industry, right? And that's something entrepreneurs need to explore as well, because you can provide a product or provide that service, but once you start to marry the two, you know what I'm saying, and put them in there, you get another stream of income, help to stabilize the business and take some of that stress off you.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good. And it's also good to have that product associated with your service, because sometimes when the service isn't as, I mean, every service industry has a slow period, So when I do have the slow period as far as the service is concerned, then, the products, they are there to supplement,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. What's and you were saying you made the products at home, like for yourself, so you had to come up with a formula. Yeah, you see what I did.
He trying to get my secrets. Gary trying to get my secrets.
Formula,
like you ain't gotta tell what's in there and everything like that. But what was your process in like taking something that works for you and giving it to other people? Like was there any tweaking in that, or how did you do your like market research, or like what did you do to get that final product out there and
good
get
question.
it bottled up? Yeah.
Well, okay, so because I'm Jamaican, I grew up on things from outside in the backyard. My grandma used to go outside and just pick something and bring it
Bush
inside.
tea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you know that already.
Well, I'm Haitian.
Tea
so we know what time it is.
we know tea fix everything. So because the tea come from the bush, right? I'm figuring like, let me take it back to nature. Hence my brand name, All Things Natural. I've always been an advocate for natural, products, mostly because I don't know if you guys realize when you look on TV and they're advertising a medication for something else, you hear in the fine print, the one that they say very quickly, it's like, can cause heart attack, can cause blood clot, all these things that it can
you
cause.
might drop dead.
And people dancing, they dancing, having a good time.
To fix your high blood pressure, or you might have blood clots, you might die, you know? And it's like, you don't have that when you take it back to nature. So that's why I was so hell-bent on finding something that would not cause something else. We're trying to fix this, and we don't want to start that. So I love olive oil. Olive oil, like I swear by it. You can cook with it. You can put it on your body, So that's usually the base for most of my products. And then, I put my herbs in there accordingly, depending on what your problem is. So you just mentioned you have dry scalp. I already know what to do for you, Some people have like psoriasis, eczema. That's a whole nother bush, It just depends on what the person's problem is. But I took it back to my grandma's old remedies, with the castor oil and all these different things that she used to mix up, like I said, from the backyard. So I did that and found, and I had to experiment between myself, my kids, my friends, and I found what worked. And so I just bottled it up. My clients love it. It works, so. that's where I am right now.
Yeah, work for it. Yeah.
That's what's up. And now that you have this product that works, and it's here, but how are you going about, like you mentioned, networking? How are you going about getting this product known in the community, getting it sold, marketing it? Networking is always a great way to meet people and let them know about what you do. And you say you're here yourself, you know what I mean? Like your shirt, you rocking the shirt, you're your own advertisement. Can you kind of just talk to us a little bit about your marketing strategies, some of the things that you have done that didn't work, right? And some of the things that you have done that has been very helpful for your growth.
Marketing is definitely not my strong suit, right? So I enjoy the fact that I can be my own walking commercial, right? It keeps me on point. You'll never see me come out my house in like a bonnet. I can't stand that people do that. Like, it's so tacky, but I'm always trying to make sure that I look the part, right? And thank heavens that when I do someone's hair, they're also marketing for me just by walking around, because I have a lot of people come to me from word of mouth. So as far as that is concerned, it's a little easier for me in that respect. And I also, social media, which takes so much time, even though people are thinking, all you got to do is post and put a caption. I'm big on my captions because I want the caption. When people look at the picture, I feel like the caption has to draw them in, whether you're trying to convince them to check the link in my bio, whether you're trying to convince them to make your appointment now. There's always has to be an action that you leave them with. So on social media, I do a little marketing there as well. But it's just me networking. I like to network and, tell people about my products and just have that conversation. I feel like once I get somebody in my chair one time, they'll be back.
Well, you got the formula going on, and you said networking. What's the actual strategy of networking? Like, what are you doing? Because I want, like, the people need to know, because I'm sure you got people out here that want to start their own thing, and that's what this platform is for, right?
Right.
So, like, how do you choose where to go to network? What are your actual strategies behind networking? How do you know who to talk to? Like, what is your whole mindset and strategy behind networking?
Okay, so I'm attracted to people who have hair that looks like they need help. So if I see somebody with an afro, I'm like, oh, hey, you should come see me and do hair. Like if I come in, I see a beard, we can have a conversation. You got your little beard going on too. We can still have a conversation. But just hair, we have our guy behind the camera. Talk to him about his hair too.
Hey.
I'm just attracted to hair mostly because, for that reason. As far as my art is concerned, I'm attracted to bare walls. Like, that's how I got most of my murals done. I'm like, listen, I can make this whole space look a lot different, But the networking, I'm just attracted to things that would allow me to make a difference. Whether it's to that person, to that space, and I'm not afraid to talk to people. So I'm always talking to strangers. Like my daughter, she hates it. She's like, Mom, you got to talk to somebody everywhere you go. Yes, honey. When you get older, you'll understand.
Yeah. I'm in business.
Yes,
it's part of my business.
Right.
Walking up and talking to strangers is part of my business. This is part of the ways that I network. This is how I built my networking base.
Right.
I understand people are running ads and people are DMing people.
Yeah.
But I'm an 86 baby.
Yeah.
I will walk right up on you and ask you, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? What kind of camera you shooting with? Okay, that's nice, bro. How long you been shooting? Okay. Well, I walk up on you and like, okay, hey, what kind of business? How are you marketing your business? How is that working for you?
Right.
Yeah, nothing beats in person, especially like you're a hairdresser. People are out there wearing your styles, and you can see that you're impacting their home, impacting their family, their relationship. I know back when I had hair a little while ago, you get me a lineup, ain't nothing you could tell me. You know what I'm saying? And you're making people feel good. So people talking about that is the ultimate, testimonial. All these ads and things, they're great. Everybody is on that virtual platform, on that space and everything. But until you know somebody who's used your services, it's a different feel, a different draw into that.
I mean, it's so interesting with networking though, because sometimes I have to be careful. So I wouldn't say, most of my clientele are men. right? A lot of women know how to at least maybe do their edges, or they don't come to me as often because they know how to do something with hair. A lot of men don't, right? But I also have to be careful, because if I'm out and I see like a couple, I approach them both. Hey, beautiful black people, how you doing? And talk to them. And it's so funny now that I've been in this industry for a while. Approaching a couple about a man's hair, I'm giving my card to the woman. I've learned that works better than trying to give it to him. Yeah. So just little things that people probably wouldn't think of, when it comes to networking. As a stylist, I got to make a few adjustments, but I still love it. I like to see when I see people out on the street and I give them my card and they actually come in, sometimes the same week, so.
That's valuable. That's valuable because that's experience. That's you being aware, that's you. And the only way you was able to learn that is through doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure you have, like you said, I'm going to approach the woman. I'm going to let them know, make them like me first, you know what I mean? Or even like how you were saying, like, like those icebreakers, like what to say when you walk up on them. As a photographer, I'm walking up to random people all day in the event. Yeah, I know the person that hired me, but I don't know your whole family.
Exactly.
I gotta walk up on every. I'm gonna hit you with something. But I got my bag of icebreakers. Like, okay, I'm gonna hit them with this. Okay. That didn't work. I'm going to hit him with another one.
But you know what I find works, RJ?
I'm going to hit him with another one.
When you hit him with a compliment first, it like breaks down any barriers they may have. They're not like, who is this strange guy walking up to me? It's like you walk up and like, yo, I like your shirt. You know what I'm saying? And to start a conversation with a compliment, I find that works all the time.
And sometimes that don't work neither. I walk up on him, give him a compliment. Okay. I see what we working with here, my boy. You gotta adjust. You know what I mean? And sometimes they feel awkward. Sometimes they don't give you nothing. Oh, you must be camera shy, huh? And it's just like, all right, well, I'm gonna just take the picture anyhow. And I snap them. Then I get some reaction. Then they might say, bro, did I tell you could take my picture? I'm like, oh, too late. Got it already. Bye. But I got a reaction. You know what I mean? That's what I needed. I needed some type of feedback, something. And sometimes people don't react to it. Sometimes people will say no, and you can't allow that one no, or you can't allow that one bad interaction to like stop you from.
Yeah, because if you stop, then the business stops.
Right.
So it's going to be some trial and error. Shout out to, what's his name, Wallow. He'll talk about like he was getting his nose bloody. Not literally breaking his nose, but he got door slamming in his face over and over again. He's like, sometimes what it is. Now he said he has a strong nose. You go to any door, ask anybody for anything. He gets slammed in the face. Okay, we're on to the next one. That's his mindset with it. And you really have to be that way because you are your own billboard. You gotta wear, your logo. You gotta go into spaces and you gotta present yourself as such, and then you amplify that with the people that you serve, and they can speak on your behalf. She does a good job. Look at my hair. I'm swagging because. Boom,
sometimes though, I go to people and they're like, I already have a stylist, and I still give her my card because I'm all right. Well, all stylists take vacation. When she's on vacation, if you need a hairdo, you can come to me. And people actually do. I'm their backup. I have some clients that I know I'm only going to see them because their stylist is out of town. And that's fine. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, But I will take your clients' money. They come to me when you're out.
You got a rebuttal. So that's experience as well. That's market. That's marketing. You know what I mean? That's still marketing, whether you're doing it online or in person. I always tell my clients do both. You know what I mean? Do both. But like, I love that you said that because like even with me, I sent some text and emails, some outreach messages this morning, and I was like, hey, even if it's not for you, even if you don't have a business, this can't help you, do you know anybody else that would benefit from video? And I will appreciate the introduction. Like it's all good if you don't have a company or you don't want to take advantage of this opportunity right now, but do you know anybody else that would benefit from this opportunity? I appreciate the introduction.
And you said the word right there, rebuttal. Because a lot of times we come with a proposition, we come with an offer. They don't want it. You got to have something else behind there that they're going to say yes to that is not going to be as strenuous on whatever you're offering. So if you don't know anybody, give me somebody else. You don't want this, I got that. You know, so
A sample bear oil. Just hey, this is sample bear oil. Just give it a shot.
just put it in your pocket.
Put this in your pocket.
Right.
Sample. Sometimes they be hitting people. Will hit me with the oil that you put on.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Why not? I'll take this with me just in case. I'll put it in my pocket.
It ain't gonna cost me nothing.
It ain't gonna cost me nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
having those and you gain that through experience.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, so I remember the first time I was doing the young lady's hair, and she actually had recently gotten married. I was doing her hair for a few months, then she got married, and her wife actually came in with her after they had gotten married. And after that, I never saw her again. So a friend of mine, one of my coworkers, because I was in a salon setting at the time, and one of my coworkers, she said, yo, you wouldn't believe who I saw. So I was like, yo, what happened? Did you ask her why we haven't seen her? And she said, yeah, her wife said there's no way that lady is going to keep doing your hair. And I felt like, at first, my first response was, I'm going to take it like, damn, I wasn't doing a good job, but afterwards, when I realized like her wife was actually insecure, and she went and learned how to do hair. So I no longer was doing her wife's hair.
Oh, wow.
I didn't take it as offense. Some people have their little hang-ups and it's fine. But I do find that happens sometimes in the salon setting. Like I've had men come in and then the one day their wives come with them, they're like, oh no, you're not going back to her. And it's not saying that like I'm not a flirtatious person or anything, but some people, you got to think of getting your hair done. It can be, depending on how you look at it, it can be an intimate service, right? Because you're laying back, they're very vulnerable at that time, and you're getting your hair washed, so some women just don't like that interaction with someone else.
That's
which
messed
is fine.
up. Yeah.
I'm about to go to my girl salon and be like, oh, you put those nail things down. I'm gonna learn how to do a feet from now on. I'm not touching my girl's feet no more. Like that takes away the whole experience.
My toes right here.
Yeah, like I'm about to learn. I'm about to YouTube how to do nails right now. I'm tired of this.
Oh my God! This one lady, she actually was like, "Babe, you got your eyes closed at the sink." Like he's enjoying his hair wash. I don't say anything to those type of people. I just leave it alone. I don't put on a nice little movie. We're gonna watch something. We're not gonna talk. But it happens. You'd be surprised the things that we go through, as stylists. But that doesn't deter me from being who I am. I do tweak a few little things because I'm a social butterfly. So when my clients come in my chair, we're having full conversation. If we're not watching a movie, even if we're watching a movie, we're still having a conversation. So I get to know my clients, and there's so many different stories I have in my head. Like when you see someone coming, this is her story. So, I keep a familiar conversation, and it's very personal, when they come in. So I enjoy it. Like I said, I talk to a different person every time every hour, every 2 hours, depending on what they're getting done. And I just look forward to hearing of people and their experiences and what's going on with them. And I've learned so much from my client base. Like in my mind, I've actually been around the world just through other people's experiences, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So
I think that's a common thing amongst entrepreneurs, just the interaction with other people. Like I myself, I predominantly work with business owners. I just love the spirit of entrepreneurship. What I'm saying? It's the same vibe that RJ have, that you have, and my clients have. Like we're really after something, we're really pushing to get a vision off the ground or continue to make that vision fly. And just the energy that we put behind it and the joy that we have when something gets accomplished. Like it's very... our world, my world, what I'm saying? So definitely a beautiful thing, engaging entrepreneurship with that.
Well, I know you guys are supposed to ask me the questions, but I got one question for both of you. So what is your favorite thing about entrepreneurship? Just one thing, because I know there are a lot of things.
Ooh, man. You want to talk that first?
Favorite thing about entrepreneurship, I'd definitely say I'm an athlete. I grew up playing football, sports, and things like that. So in production, it takes a team to do something. A lot of times people will call me and be like, oh, RJ, can you take pictures even if it's whatever it is? It's like, it's never going to be just me doing a project or a thing, right? So just the whole collaboration aspect, the team environment,
Yeah.
the ability to say yes or give them a referral to someone else.
Right.
I won't necessarily say no, but I'm like, hey, I know somebody else that's be better, be way better than me.
Right.
He gonna get you right.
Yeah.
Gary,
Yeah.
got somebody,
Yeah.
got somebody for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At all times.
So it's just
Yeah.
that whole network of like even our team that I feel most comfortable working with, and even the network of like other entrepreneurs that I could refer clientele to. That's like one of the best things for me.
That's big because not many people are willing to share the work, right? And the fact that you can actually acknowledge, like, knowing that someone else would be a better fit, I think that's amazing.
Yeah. My answer to that is my favorite thing about entrepreneurship is unlimited growth, right? Sometimes you work, I'll speak on my experience. When I got out of law school, I was looking for different jobs, talking to different law firms, going to interviews, sending in writing samples, going through that whole process. I'm trying to get a desk at somebody's firm.
Right.
And then as we interview, it's like, you don't want me to grow. We need you to do these amount of hours. You're going to work on these types of things. And this is your box. And I'm like, I'm already suffocating. I don't even work for you. I'm already suffocating. Like, what's going on?
Right.
And then when I started doing my own thing, I'm like, I can have as many clients as I want. I could do whatever I want out here. Like, why do they tell me, it is more difficult. They have a bigger name, whatever, they can market better, whatever the case may be, but I could build that, and so it's just growth. So, and even with entrepreneurs that I represent, business owners that I represent as well, their growth, it's unlimited. Your vision is unlimited, and they just want to keep going and growing, and they get to a certain point. Like, they never starting from one spot and then getting to another spot. They never thought they'd be here, but when they get here, they start looking up there.
Right.
And it just keeps going and going and going, So it's unlimited growth. You can be everything that you think that you can be. As far as your imagination can take you, you can get there. And I love that spot. Nobody's telling you how far or how big you can get.
Right.
You decide. I love that part.
Yeah, I like the flexibility. To answer my own question, I like the flexibility. I remember my aunt was saying to me the other day, as your parents get older, you might have to spend more time with them. And my parents both live in Jamaica, so my brother and my sister, they're 9-to-5ers, and I showed her the fact that I actually have a lot more flexibility than them when it comes to taking care of our parents, because I'm able to go as I want, and I'm blessed with clientele that actually they're very understanding. So if I close my book, for a few days, they're willing to wait until I come back, so
You're that good.
It's the flexibility. Yeah,
You're not going nowhere.
Right. They're not. And, that speaks volumes to the type of service I provide, but it's just the flexibility of it all. So, school is about to open. I can close my book off for the first few hours of the first day of school, to be there for my daughter. And, so that's my favorite thing about it. Because if I was still working for that company, I'd have to be at work at 8:00.
I appreciate you for asking that question because in my world, I know RJ's world as well, like, people come to us with problems. And a lot of times we discuss a lot of problems as well in entrepreneurship. We never talk about the appreciation that we have for the things that we do enjoy about entrepreneurship, because you talk to entrepreneurs and they're talking about their problems and things, but end of the day, we're still doing it because we love this.
Right.
We love it. We wake up in the morning, we get going, we smiling right now, we talking about the product because we love this. I was about to cuss, but we love it. we love it. We love it.
We love this ish.
Yes, we love it. We love it.
I mean, and after we can go get some food if we want to. You could go sit in your office. You could do anything after.
Yeah.
And but not to glorify it too much, because there are people out there that think that that's the first thing they see when they think of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted. I was up at 2:00 this morning working on my business. So even though we work in our business as entrepreneurs, I feel like working on my business is more important, right? So I do have
what does that look like? So I always like to talk about this type of stuff too, because I am a geek when it comes to like this whole entrepreneurship, this whole business journey. I absolutely love it. That's why we started this whole podcast. So when it comes to like working on your business, what are some of those activities or tasks that you do that would be considered for you, for your own experience, your own business, that would be considered working on your business?
So last night in particular, I'm in the process of rebranding, right? So because I'm a creative, like I get my products, I'm about to go through my like third design on my label because I'm always just trying to change things, make it better, you know, and now I'm trying to incorporate my art on my label, right? So that's what I was doing last night in particular, but working on my business, you know, there's business credit you got to build, you know, there's certain things that like with my website, you know, I'm posting products. You know, I do some drop shipping. So, you know, I'm creating more items for people to buy, you know, posting them on my website. A lot of people delegate these things to other people, but I don't, right? I do everything. I make my products in my kitchen, you know, all these things. So working on my business to me is, you know, doing the things online that I need to do, you know, the rebranding, the creating my labels, the posting things to my website, the social media. I like DMs. I just can't. I just suck at DMs, right?
You slid into our DMs. That's why you here.
But I saw your post, right? So I slid into the DMs, and then now I gotta monitor the DM to see when they respond, you know?
Oh,
and so it's like, to me, it takes work, you know, as far as like responding to those social media messages, because I already got my voicemail on my phone, I already got my text message on my phone, these things that I gotta monitor. So it's a lot. Being in an entrepreneurship, you have to have, it's like you're an octopus, right? These 8 hands are doing one thing all the time, you know, but it's just basically building your business so that it works, it runs like a business, you know, putting myself on payroll, you know, the little things that you don't think of. Because like for me, I literally will just do hair and paint. If I could have someone come and say, I'll manage the marketing, I'll manage the this, the that, all of that, I'll just do the creative side and that's it. But as I, you know, got into entrepreneurship more, I realized that, there's more to it than just creating and the fancy colors and the hairstyles, you know. It's a lot, you know. You gotta.
So you would consider the doing the hair, the fancy colors, the painting is like more of like working in the business in a sense.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's the fun part for me.
Okay.
That's the fun
I just wanted to
part
put,
for me.
you know, I just wanted to ask that question and put it out there as like clarity, because a lot of times I work with a lot of photographers and content creators that want to learn content creation, want to learn how to start their own business. I work with them. Actually, we have a cohort right now that we're working with. And I always like to say, like, you know, when they talk about videos or talking about going out doing photography or going, I always like to just give them a reminder, like, that's when you're working on your business. That's when you're working in your business.
Yeah.
This is all technical skills. These are things that you're working in your business. But you have to do the other things to work on your business, to grow the business. Now, I know you want to have fun at this photo shoot,
right,
collaborate, have the energy up and everything like that.
Yeah.
But that's not working on the business.
Right.
That's working in it.
Exactly.
You know, so you have to do some of those tasks that you don't enjoy doing, you know what I mean, to work on the business.
Trademarking, all those things. Like when I realized that, you know, you got to register your business differently, Gary, I'm sure, you know, it's like there are a lot of technical aspects, you know, to all of these. I learned about Dun and Bradstreet. You know what I'm saying? It's like so many things that.
Honka Dun.
Listen.
And cousin Brad.
I'm telling you, it's like you have to do it right. You know, there are people like, I don't know if you guys realize on social media they're pushing all. You know, you see people and they're like, get this Escalade through your business. You could just go to the dealership and walk off the dealership as long as you use your business credit, you know, and they make it seem so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, mind you, if you got your ducks in a row, it can be easy. Not saying that it can't, you know, but it's the background knowledge. It's the steps you got to take to get there, you know, and if you don't build, like I've been doing hair for 17 years, but my business hasn't been run as a business for 17 years, you know, so you got to get it registered, you know, you got to go to the Sunbiz, there's so many things you got to do.
Yeah, so Gabrielle, I appreciate you jumping on the podcast. You are a second guest. So I really appreciate you filling out the form. Tell all the people how they could find you.
You can find me at www.allthingsnatural.life. That's my website. But also All Things Natural on Instagram, All Things Natural for Life. That's my hair page. Or Real McCoy Gear for my art page. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and sharing with me what's most valuable, your time. And I look forward to being back.
Definitely, we appreciate you for appreciate you for being on the show and
Yes.
coming through and sharing your experience and your vision as well.
Yes, no
and
problem.
also sharing your formula to your success.
Yes, Formula Podcast.
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
So yeah, this is the Formula Podcast where the constant is you.
Ooh.
Hey.